All right, and here we are, United States versus Indonesia. And I see a Fremont one pick already. This might not be the first map. We'll get there. The MP link. I'll take a look in there as well. But yeah, we have already played one map, and that was won by the United States versus Indonesia. But something I really wanted to have more time to talk about is Indonesia has had some insane game last week. #1 performer of round of 32. Not even the United States came even close to them. So well performed. Majira McQueen seed 3, then they had seed 15, seed 28, seed 30, seed 44. Like, how incredible did they play last week? If Indonesia is able to perform as well as they did last week, United States is in kind of a pickle. They really need to try their best, and they surely must have prepared for this one. But now, of course, with United States winning already the first map on that Hard Rock. I believe that was the Hard Rock 2 that they won in. It's gonna be now chance to capitalize on that. We are currently in the Fremont 1. Of course, Fremont 1 being picked by Indonesia, so United States won their own pick here on the Hard Rock 2, but was quite close, honestly. Only 400,000 difference. Not as much as it might seem, and with how well Indonesia is playing and has played in the past, like, this could very well be a lot closer than it suggested with the seeding. Of course, Indonesia being seed 17, but performing like a seed 1 essentially last round. So certainly not out of it. So we're gonna be seeing Toki here on the Hard Rock and Eddie on the Hard Rock with RNG, Nomad, Toybot on the hidden for the US. On the side of Indonesia, once again, also 2 Hard Rocks. The noob guy, Majira McQueen, of course, C3 of the last week in performance. Salt and Honey and Fuma, also very strong here. See here, one break here from Toki, traded back by Majira McQueen. Still 3 EFCs on both sides. Map is not necessarily that difficult, I would say. It's rather one of the easier maps. But this is generally the gameplay for Indonesia. They just pick these easier maps and just do 4-way EFCs on them. And despite not 4-way EFCing anymore, Eddie breaking, immediately getting traded by that noob guy. Both of these Hard Rocks are going to be down. Hidden still standing up strong. Nomad still standing up strong for the side of Indonesia. For the side of pretty much the same for the side of the United States. Accuracy is very similar. Score is pretty much the same. It's still all in the open, but Fumer here breaking on the Nomad on the side of Indonesia. Now United States has the chance to capitalize on that and build up this score, especially with that SS from RNG. Now, easier part, slower part, good for the United States. Toki breaking here on a slow slider, but does not matter as much. It's not a big combo here from them. Still, these 2 FCs, despite the recovering combos here on the side of Indonesia. I mean, the recovering combos on the side of Indonesia really helping them because the score does not move at all. Staying at 50k, not moving towards the United States. Despite them having 2 FCs here, just from the recoveries from Indonesia. Could be spelling doom for them as soon as anybody of them breaks here. Now the score going very slowly towards the side of United States, but with that break here from Majira McQueen on this recovery combo, not looking good for the Indonesian side.
Yeah, scary halfway point here. Hello, I'm here. I made it. I've survived.
Wow,
sweetie.
I just almost had a heart attack. I did that 1 second I don't look at the channel.
But here we go. That break from Majira McQueen is going to be huge for the United States. Still holding on to the hidden FC is Toybot alongside RNG. That Buzz Slider midstream not going to be catching any players off. And already that 50k, what was once a 50k lead, has now ballooned to well over 200k for what is almost decidedly a first point for the United States.
In fact, it will be a second point. United States has already picked the Hard Rock 2 and won that match by 400k. This one is the pick by Indonesia. I don't think it's lost yet, but United States needs to break very soon. And Toibo with the 99.85% at RNG with that SS still not looking to give any chances towards them. They look so confident and strong on this. None of them even coming close to giving any chance of breaking here, and maybe, just maybe, we're gonna see this one SS on the Nomad here from RNG.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the danger of picking consistency maps. You expect the United States to be picking the more volatile stuff, the more skill cappy stuff, so you play into consistency, but then this new roster is just so consistent on maps like this. The Flow Aim Hybrid going to be going their way. RNG closing out that massive SS on the free mod 1 for their second point.
Yes, unfortunately not going to be the highest score of the week because of mods, of course. Toybot going to be stealing the way possibly here. OD is 8.5, so it is to be expected the accuracy is going to be a little bit higher. Nonetheless, very, very, very strong from them. But we have seen Indonesia last week, who has been the strongest performing team of the last week. And they're certainly not out of it. It is their plan to pick these easier maps, but they're usually so consistent. And you can see it's just 1 or 2 misses from their side. This could have gone either way.
Yeah, for sure. A map like this, there's some tricky patterns in there. Like, there's some buzz sliders in the middle of stream patterns. There's a lot of spacing changes in that map. It can be really tricky to get into, and those kind of 50-50s are ultimately good for Indonesia, but it just went the USA's way that time. So, still gonna be their point, their pick. Now, United States going once again, likely to pick into something volatile. United States, known for their reading, known for their mechanics. Probably a double time or a hidden based off of those.
Yeah, possibly. If I was the US, I'd just pick the hardest maps in the pool. We all know the US is gonna be able to scale all the way to the grand finals, no problem. So just pick the most difficult, the hardest, most challenging maps, and you're probably gonna feel better. The harder the map is probably better for you. So what I would be expecting is possibly a hidden, but it's gonna be the harder one, interestingly. Of course, Indonesia has been performing extremely well in the hidden last week. Was seed 1 in the hidden 2 and seed 4 in the hidden 1. Hidden 1 been playing quite a lot, I think over 20 times. So it makes sense. It certainly makes sense. US wouldn't want to pick tapping against Indonesia either. Has been really, really strong on that as well. And yeah, they're gonna be going with this hard rock 1.
Yeah, so I think this is, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? You win the Hard Rock 2 decidedly. You might as well go Hard Rock 1. Different look here. Higher BPM, load code map with some slider difficulty mixed in as well. Really strong for this United States roster. You, of course, having these new additions in Eddie and Uzumaki, who are going to be those main mechanics guys. Going to be strong in the Hard Rock and double times for those two. But Indonesia not out of it yet. They have the new Rosemi Love Lock. They're still running Majuro McQueen, blank tap commentator extraordinaire, turned Hard Rock player for the match. We'll have to see how they can counteract this map. It is a 1 slot, it's slightly more standard. Might be going either way here.
Yes, seeing blank tap here is such a honor, honestly. So not only you will see him here commentating in this tournament, but you also see him playing, and he has been performing really well as well. Has been putting down some good performances in the last round. It's really gonna be coming down to how well he's gonna perform here, though.
So it shall be. Rosters settled in as we head into the Shiny Breakson map. Save me, Fox Girl. Gotta be high BPM aim focused with some some hybrid gimmick mixed in with just the nature of shiny breaks and maps in this awkward aim patterns, some slider difficulty as well. Very structured in its pattern aim. First break, unfortunately, going to be from blank tap. Going to be a slight square lead for United States early on. New trades, accuracies, a little shaky on a handful of players.
Yeah, still love to work with, but Indonesia certainly not a bad hard work team. Golden Honey breaking once again, no answer from the side of the United States, and the map is rather on the shorter side. Uzumaki now finally breaks, but immediately getting traded by the Nuka and Majira McQueen. There's no FCs anymore on the side of Indonesia, only blank to be with the recovering combo of 240.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about volatile maps. I mean, those low BPM cross-screen jumps are pretty volatile, striking out highest combo and Indo again for blank tap, unfortunately. Triple FC still being held for the United States. We're only a quarter in, so it's not the full end of the world with how volatile it is. We could be seeing a triple break at any point, but it's just going to be that experience level. Eddie falling to the wayside, but RNG and Toki, the long-standing members of the United States, coming from 3 years running, and still holding on to these combos.
Yeah, extremely well played here from the two of them. Indonesia trying to come back from this, but no chances given here. Never mind, Toki does fall. It's only RNG here left on that FC with Uzumaki on the recovering combo. Score difference 390,000. It's halfway only through, so there's still a lot of time to catch up here.
Yeah, plenty of time. I do feel they do need the break from RNG. Of course, there's no massive combos on anyone else. Uzumaki kind of counteracts. Noob Guy and Majiro heads there building up. Toki breaks, but again, that's the lowest combo in the United States. Need a little bit more from those other players, but unfortunately, with the slowdown before this final Ki, it's going to be a little bit helpful for the United States as RNG continues to build up this FC combo. A couple butt sliders, but nothing dangerous yet.
It's certainly not looking good for them. Map is almost over as well. Once again, only 2 minutes 40. With these breaks on the side of the United States, it's gonna get a score a little bit more towards the side, but it doesn't seem like there's enough time. And the United States gonna be taking the third point against Indonesia on their own pick.
Yeah, RNG putting his carry pants on for this map. Very middle of the road scores across the whole lobby. Salt and Honey and RNG being the outliers. Unfortunately for Salt and Honey, it's RNG 300k more. Closing out his second FC of the match. Unless he also FC'd Hard Rock too. I wasn't there for that, but having a solid run of it today.
Yes, the hard work too. I don't think anybody here was here for that, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, because the last game ended in the tiebreaker, which was extremely nice to watch. And yeah, United States trying to run away here, trying to sweep here Indonesia away, a team that was so strong last week, but somehow isn't able to pull through this week, just not getting the scores they want.
For Platinum Quest.
Yeah, just a little bit of an underperformance from a handful of Indo players, at least in comparison to how they were performing last week. We don't know how this new team will scale. They do have a lot of returning players there, but of course the addition of Rosemi Lovelock can be really helpful for their hidden roster, which is probably why United States haven't picked into that yet. But now they have the chance to with their next pick. Plenty of no mods left open. Only modded picks have been thrown out so far.
Yeah, I kind of want to see DT1 possibly here for an Indonesia. They have proven that they're super strong on this type of maps and very consistent on it as well. The United States, of course, banned the Nomad 5, which is very reasonable, honestly, considering how well Indonesia performed on maps like the DT2 4-way FC, the DT2 last week, which was pretty much tapping only. And Nomad 5 was also very strong on their part. You know, disadvantage as the United States has, they can just ban maps despite being really strong in them, just for the sake of outscaling them on the rest of them. And it's gonna be the DT1 as expected. That Indonesia, she really just wants to get into these maps that everybody can FC, to get these coin flip maps, to get these confidence picks, essentially to steal away these points from the United States.
Yeah, and what a banger to do it on. Gonna be pretty comfortable stats for this one. The Air 10 OD 9.1, fairly standard for the DT slot, but that BPM 277, slightly higher, slightly trickier. Gonna be a solid spot for Indonesia as they closed out really strong scores in the slot last week, but United States, none to scoff at. Of course, that three-way roster of Toki, Eddie, Uzumaki, maybe Indiana even could fill that spot. They just are so overloaded on DT1 ability right now.
Right. Players are going to get in now. We don't have much time left. DT1, of course, a very bursty map, not necessarily needing a lot of stamina here. It's really just gonna be this big burst. Players gonna be experienced in that. Rather easier to FC, I would say. Absolute banger, of course. This is one of these songs that I just listen, even if I don't play those, I just listen to this song, just how good it is.
Yeah, gotta love some of these and on Wakashima maps, of course, well known in some Arls map sets and ranked maps alike. Gonna be showing up here for the Dallas DT1 as all players in the lobby. It's actually gonna be Batball, and I mean that's what I say when I'm like DT1 is so overstocked on this United States team. It could have been one of 6 players, and no matter what, the roster's gonna look good for it. So it's just about that Indonesia consistency. We're gonna bring back those 4-way FCs from last week.
Yeah, there's a big question mark here on how well they will perform. Are they finally gonna get the scores, the replicated scores from last week? No, unfortunately, first break immediately from Majira McQueen, the person who was the main carry of the last week's C3 of the last round, and just not being able to FC maps today, it seems like. It was traded back by RNG, not being able to hold well here. Still, not the confidence play that I would be expecting from Indonesia.
Yeah, it's just gonna be an early advantage, mainly off of accuracy. RNG tapping early on a number of these bursts. A couple tricky flip patterns, but again, it's traded. Some and Batball both missing on that square equally. Accuracy and advantage of Batball gonna be slightly helping the United States, but that second break not gonna be as helpful as Puma also falls to the wayside. It's 2 FCs to 1 on Rosemi Lovelock and the recovery by Majira McQueen. By no means are they out of it quite yet, but especially with the VT score inflation, 30k is nothing.
Yeah, once again, so my breaking Fuma, as you said, just no answer from the United States. And with Rosemi Lovelock and Majira McQueen, they're really trying to keep this alive, and they're doing a good job, but they need help here from their teammates, and they need at least one of the bigger combos here from the United States to fall.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's just that consistency. The accuracy looking good on Some, but it's these combo breaks that are gonna be the big story. If Eddie and Toki fall, there is an opportunity. Of course, that recovery on Majira McQueen is so high. The accuracies on both of those high combos hovering around that 99 or average range for the FCs on Indo. But it's Toki and Eddie, the main mechanics duo. Toki, the old, and Eddie, the new, holding on tight here for this DT1 lead, trying to bring it to match 1.
Yes, and they are in a good way to do this. 20,000 point advantage, big recovery combos from both teams, really. I think if United States kind of falls apart, this would immediately go towards the side of Indonesia, but Seed 1 generally does not fall apart, and it's the next break. The 2 breaks here from the side of Indonesia. Another break. It's only Majira McQueen here left on the side of Indonesia, and that is just not enough to score, immediately flying towards the side of the States. And this is going to be the next point for the US. No FCs anymore. Complete, you wouldn't needed that from the United States. Now Indonesia completely fell apart. Nothing they can do anymore. Scored, flying towards the side of the US. 1 million, growing even faster, ending up at 1.1 million score difference. United States taking the match point here.
Yeah, 4.1 million team score, reminding us who's the boss of these DT1s. They would get scores like that on Grand Finals DT1s in last year's iteration. So still keeping up that DT consistency is the States. Indonesia, 3 million, nothing to scoff at. Very strong score against most teams, but United States, it's the Seed 1 effect.
Yeah, just such a difficult one. What are you gonna do against that? They must be feeling like they're trying their best, but just can't pull through, it seems like. And despite trying their best here. Well, still there's still a lot to go. There's still a chance to be taking some of these points back. But gonna be a bit of an uphill battle here. And with the 4-1, 4-0 here for the United States, the match point for the United States is almost looking like it's over.
Yeah, especially with it being the USA's pick. USA having a very open pool to work with. All the no mods open, the double hiddens open, 3mod 2 crash open if they wanted to go that direction. Would be a funny way to round this out, but plenty of options for the team. And it is going to be crash for the United States ending this match, or potentially ending this match in style. This is a volatile map in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a banger. It's an absolute banger. Very short map as well, only 1 minute 42. Easy multiplayer on this is 1.2x, so I don't think we're gonna be able to see any easies, unfortunately. But it's still a very fun map to watch.
Yeah, so is the nature of grid mapping in free mod slots. Of course, the anti-mod as well is going to be a big assist for easy players, just removing that spacing and precision element. So, the multiplier going to be pretty low there, but Indonesia pulling out some new roster members. Ball coming in for this one, likely to play that hidden for the team. Schwartz also hopping in on the side of the United States, a very strong rating player in their own right.
Yes. Certainly. So
Bokuwa Crash. Uzumaki also hopping, likely to overmod that Hard Rock, as they have done in previous 3 months. But imagine Schwartz hidden and RNG no mod on the day. As Indonesia full roster as well. Salt and Honey coming in for the hidden there. They could even overmod on hidden on that team. That team so
potentially, yeah. Just try to get as much score out of it as possible on their players. I mean, every team in this tournament is going to be able to play free mods pretty consistently. It's not like a map that you always have to play to have harder players or only hidden players. So you can really mix it up and just get your strongest player on this.
Good luck, have funs in the chat as we head into what potentially may be the final map of this match. United States versus Indonesia. Indonesia trying to stay alive on Crash. United States trying to finish it with stop ones.
Absolutely. United States this week looking a lot stronger than last week, and I think we're gonna see this the further we go into these maps, the better it's gonna look like for their team. Consistent and stronger they will get. Very different kind of map, very flowy in that 135 BPM. Giga Chats would single tap this, unfortunately we have only alternating players in here. Accuracy looking pretty good for Indonesia here right at the beginning.
Yeah, RNG finding that early break on the first overlap pattern. This map featuring plenty of flow grid mapping. And it's that noob guy on the Hard Rock finding that second break. Actually, Schwartz on the no mod is a surprising doubt for the USA team, as combos are relatively even early on. It's a very short map too, just under 2 minutes. Big flow pattern, unfortunately going to be taking out Fall for, once again, another United States combo.
Oh no. That is a big problem here for Indonesia. They had such a good time, but immediately, right as you said, that 2 more breaks here on their side. No combos pretty much. And the score is flying once again towards the side of the United States. Indonesia, despite having an incredible performance last week, just not being able to pull through here, just not being able to get these FCs done. Unfortunate for them, but it seems like USA is kind of stealing the point away there. There is just no way that they can steal this back.
Yeah, I mean, it's all eyes on Uzumaki and Luna is Tabby, otherwise known as Schwartz here. Both players holding on to their respective FCs. RNG on such a fat recovery combo. And I mean, 1 million score up once again. United States in dominant fashion. It's the USA effect. Indonesia, one of the best scoring teams yet in last week's match, but not able to overcome the big white and blue.
Yeah, extremely strong performance here from United States. Nothing really Indonesia could have done. They would have essentially had to 4-way FC every map in order to steal us away, but United States just too much of a force to fight against. And yeah, there's still a few things we have to say. There's still a match going on a B stream. Still, Colombia versus United Kingdom. United Kingdom is leading there against Colombia. And one more match today at 18 UTC, Argentina against Turkey. Yet we still also have to say that you can, if you want, you can still donate to 4WC. We are always looking out for these donations. You can always support and try to support us here. With these donations, there's a lot of work from so many people, a lot of commentators, map poolers, and so much behind the work. But even like a custom client for the streams and so on. So if you have a few bucks to spare, make sure to give them out to the team. It's of course only being used for this tournament to maybe pay some people or to pay for the extra things we do. Hubba, do you have anything else to say?
Nothing else from me. Support your favorite teams with the supporter banner, and we will be bringing you now onto the B stream. It is Colombia versus United Kingdom. United Kingdom up 3-1. See you there.
Yeah, have a good one.
Crash やろうぜウキウキメッキな爆弾はもう爆発寸前